So here's the question. When exactly did the Jewish day school movement begin? And who was the founder of the Jewish day school movement? The Talmud quotes an obscure personality, and his name is Yehoshua ben Gamla, and he is credited with this achievement. The Gemara in Baba Batra says as follows: De Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Rav, says Rabbi Yehuda in the name of Rav, Beram Zachoroto Ha'ish Latov. Truly there is a man who is going to be remembered for good. Yehoshua ben Gamla Shemo, and his name is Yeshua ben Gamla. She'ilmale hu nishtachat Torah Yisrael. If it was not for him, the Jewish people would have forgotten the Torah. Shebtchila, because initially, mi sheyesh lo av melamdo Torah. A person who had a father or a parent, he taught his child Torah. A person who did not have a parent did not learn Torah. How do we understand this cultural phenomenon? My darosh, because the Torah says, V'limadatem otam, you should teach them. And they understood it as, V'limadatem atem, you should teach them. And if you can't teach them, then they're not taught. The rabbis decreed that there should be centers, institutions set up in Jerusalem to teach these children. Why? What's their source? My darush. Ki mitzion teitzei Torah. Out of Zion, out of Jerusalem, shall come forth Torah. But it didn't work. So the people who had parents, they went up to Jerusalem and learned. Misha ein loav, and if you didn't have a parent, lo haya olev lamed. They did not go up because they had no parent to take them. They decreed one more time that each and every locale needed to have teachers and a school set up. Until Rabbi Yehoshua ben Gamla made it a mandate. Every single town, every single city needed teachers, and every child at the age of 6 or 7 needed to enter a school. I have two problems with this text. Number one is, I don't know how many orphans there were back in those days. 5%, 10%, 15%, maybe 20%. Why does the entire system need to be uprooted and changed for 10, 15, 20%? Question number two. Had Yehoshua ben Gamla not done this, the Gemara states, Nishtachach Tom Yisrael, the whole Torah would have been forgotten if he had not instituted these schools. Really? 80% of all the Jews are in school or being taught by their parents? We would die for those numbers today. What does it mean that all of the Torah would have been forgotten? And I would leave you with this thought. Any educational system in a city that cannot meet the needs of all of the Jewish children will ultimately fail if a child does not have access, if all the children do not have access to a Jewish and Torah education. It was not good enough 2,000 years ago that some number of children didn't have access. Some of the decisors, some of the Rishonim say 25. If there are 25 children who don't have the access to a Jewish education, you're mandated to make it work. 2,000 years ago, it was good for them. So too, it is not acceptable for us today that so few of our children get a proper Torah education. This is one of the reasons why I am so proud to be a part of this school. What other school walks the walk to make sure that our children, our future, have access to a Torah education? Not 80%, not 90%, but we aim for 100% that all of our children receive a Torah education. This is not a strategic plan, it's not sitting in the boardroom. We do that today. We are AJA, and our future is now. AJA fulfills the mission of being what I would humbly assert, the only school for all Jewish children. And let's be clear, that does not mean we compromise on our standards or halacha, but it does mean that we have to meet all of our children and all of our families, ba'asher hu sham, where they're at. We have been under the same roof for about 90 days with 50 years of unique stories. Everybody has a memory. Has a memory of Hebrew Academy, has a memory of GHA, has a memory of Yeshiva Atlanta 30 years ago and 10 years ago. Everybody has a memory. And it's hard. It's hard for our teachers, our students, and our parents to engage in those difficult conversations. How do we come together? Nobody said it was going to be easy. But I know in the core of my being that when the Gemara says they come together so that Torah will not be forgotten, what does it mean? It means that we believe, I believe, that we are better united than apart. That our children are better served when we model standards and engagement. That we believe that we meet every Jewish child and every family ba'asher hu sham, in the place that they are at. And that we all have a role in that. We embrace our rich history, and yet we trailblaze forward. I came from the Bay Area. It's a high-tech area. A lot of folks coming in, coming out. Most of my board was probably younger than I was at times. To come to a school with such a deep, deep tradition and a deep history is a bracha for me, is a bracha for all of us. And so we acknowledge the past, we cherish the past, but we also engage in our future as we trailblaze forward.